Come on in to Margaret McSweeney's Kitchen for Kitchen Chat, where every week you'll meet chefs, cookbook authors, foodies, gourmets, and just plain people who love to eat. And along with laughter, chat, recipes, and stories about food, you'll sometimes also hear words of inspiration, love, and hope. As Margaret always says, Kitchen Chat is food for the senses and food for the soul. So grab a cup of coffee, put your feet up on a comfy chair, and get ready to spend a little time with Margaret and her friends.
Hello, dear foodie friends, and welcome to Kitchen Chat. I'm your host, Margaret McSweeney, and I'm so glad you're joining me here today at the National Restaurant Show in the Viking Vignette of Middleby, here with my favorite foodie friend and co-host, Chef Jamie Larita.
I'm the favorite. You hear that, Dave? I'm your favorite foodie friend.
You're the favorite of most people I know.
Yeah, but not for long, because Dave's here.
Yes, absolutely. And I am so honored and excited to be doing a kitchen chat with the COO of Middleby Corporation, David Brewer. Welcome to Kitchen Chat.
Listen, this is great. I'm so happy to be here. Being with you especially is so much fun. I really enjoyed our conversation earlier. And the two of you are great people.
Thank you. And it's so busy here. It's always so busy in the Middleby section of the booth. But thank you for. We know you're a busy man. You have lots of people here, lots of people interested in the Middleby products. So thanks for spending the time with us.
Oh, absolutely, my pleasure, especially for you.
And I love the innovation. Middleby is about innovation, and you've even brought that innovation into the way you're approaching the whole show this year. Can you share with the listeners and viewers what has changed?
Absolutely. The fun thing, like you, especially with your personality, the fun thing about innovation is it's exciting. And when you do something truly different than everybody else, take a chance, be daring. And so this year what we did is we don't have any little booths. We have done solution selling. So what we did is we approached it not as this is the best oven or this is the best speed cooking system or the best grill. We said, listen, as a C-store operator or as a grocery store operator or as a fine dining establishment or as a fast casual establishment, we created those environments. We actually created a fast casual restaurant and hired people that own fast casual restaurants to come in and demonstrate our equipment. So we have all the technology that we have focused in on those solutions for C-stores or ventless bars or things like that.
Fantastic. And how many brands are in Middleby Corporation?
Currently, we're at about, I think it's 87 brands, individual brands around the world.
That's
incredible. Huge commercial brands. Like, as a chef and someone that spent my whole life in a restaurant, these are brands that I've been around my whole life. And it seems like every single restaurant you go in has at least 3 to 5 Middleby products worldwide.
Yeah, Jim, you're right. That is true. All the way around the world, from Moscow to Shanghai to Tokyo to Fargo, North Dakota.
Right. We come to the restaurant show almost every year, and the change this year is really nice. Yeah. It's a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think the term I've been using, Jamie, is authentic. And I think it kind of goes to our core competency. It's people like you in our organization. I mean, you are, a world-renowned chef, right? Your capability far exceeds the people in our organization when it comes to using our technology. And having you part of the team makes us very authentic, because when we have literally the best engineers in the world, the best heat transfer, the best microwave engineer. The technology we have is outstanding, but if it connects to you, it makes all the difference. And having you set some standards and set some expectations for our corporation, literally no competitor can stand up to us because we're authentic thanks to you.
Oh, and it's, thank you very much for saying that, but really what I look at it as, Dave, is energy.
Yeah.
It's all about energy. Cooking is all about energy. Ingredients have energy. It resonates. Appliances have energy, and the people that touch them have energy. So just like with the great Viking brand that we represent in our showrooms in Chicago, I went down to the Viking plant the first week I had the job. I encouraged them to touch the product differently, to even screw in a screw differently. It matters. Everything matters. And I remember Middleby being one of the first companies that use the word innovation.
Yeah.
And now you walk around the show and that's all you see is the word innovation. But Middleby was at the forefront of even using and the word as well.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I think you were on the forefront of that. Like the Viking brands.
Yes.
We have pushed a lot of our food service technology, the burner technology, the control technology, the snap action thermostats, the air distribution, the air handling systems from the highest end pieces of equipment that only the highest end restaurants use. We've taken that technology and lifted it and put it right into Viking. So when you are working with Viking, as you know, in your home, you're working with the same technology, the same capability, the same flame distribution as Morton's or Ruth Chris or any high-end restaurant in the world.
You have really brought the technology from the commercial side into the residential, so it impacts the home chef.
That's right. I'm an old automotive engineer, literally an automotive engineer. So a lot of my silly analogies are cars. But I think what we've done is we've taken that Formula One race car, right, over in food service. We've taken that McLaren that you see or the Indianapolis 500. We've taken that kind of capability, the fastest cars in the world. We've taken that from food service and we bring it into the home. Viking, you are literally driving, when you bring a Viking into your home, you're driving an F1. You are driving a McLaren. You're driving a Ferrari, right?
Wow.
So if I give you that capability in the home as a home chef, it allows you to go faster, better, cooler, more capable than anybody else in the world. I've got to give you that capability. I do not want to hold back a chef. Anytime I've held back a chef, they get grouchy.
I'm so grouchy. You have never seen me grouchy.
I've never seen you grouchy because I keep feeding you technology.
That's what it is. But it's funny you mention all that, and it's really, really important to think about having that kind of capability in your home. But it's true, like only a company like Middleby, I like to say in the showrooms, Dave, that Middleby is the spinal cord behind all of these brands now, giving all of these brands that we have, and we have, La Cornue, the Bentley of the kitchen world, and, brands like Aga, which I look at as the Viking of the UK. But all these brands, what you guys are doing is fortifying all of these brands with that innovation that Middleby already owns.
Think about Middleby.
Yes.
You need to think about the fact that the same technology, the food science, the chefs, the engineers that develop the products at the factory are the same people that are thinking about how to develop Viking appliances, how to develop food service appliances. Those are I love the way you just said it. That channel of innovation comes from a root of real knowledge. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And you all get to benefit.
Yeah.
I mean, how exciting is this? Well, I do have a question, Dave. Do you enjoy cooking? And if so, what is your favorite dish to make?
This is really simple. So I'm not the best cook, the best chef. I am below fundamentals, but I love outdoor grilling, right? So, I mean, it's the classic family event, right? So I love cooking outside. And what's fun about Middleby is the Viking grill, the Viking systems outside. I have the Viking walk outside. And the stir fry and the mix and to have a cold beer with my kids standing around, it's so much fun. So no, I probably can't match him. We're not in the same universe.
I don't have the wok.
Separate universe.
You got the wok.
But give me the steak, give me the hot dog, give me the hamburger with a cold beer, and I probably could get close.
I think that cooking is all about energy. If you have that personal confidence when you're behind the grill, it doesn't matter who you're cooking next to. As long as it comes out great for you, you win. And I think that with a lot of the products that we're exposed to on this brand, something really funny happened. So I was walking around the show, and I forget what booth I was at, but it might be a friendly competitor, and they said, "Oh, he's from Middleby. Be careful! He's going to buy our company." It's really funny. So when it comes to doing that, and what's the process? Is it do you have, and you must have, looking at other brands, like what's the next hot thing that we're looking for?
So our acquisition strategy is quite simple, actually. So it's twofold. We buy the A companies. We buy the highest technology, the best companies in a vertical, whether it's convection cooking or flame or microwave or combi. We buy the best, and then so we really want to acquire a technology, and we're looking for that technology that really enables and changes the capability of a food service establishment, a small box retailer, or even in the home, right? So we look for technology first that's unique and capable. Secondly, and the most fun about acquisitions, is the people. Because you really need, that comes along with great acquisitions of great companies. So we're not into buying low-grade companies and trying to turn them around and run them up. We buy the best and expand their capability. So we take that technology and allow it to go every place. We make the most successful people more successful. But what's the most fun is we get to work with those people. We get to work with people like this. We would never have this experience. I would never personally have this experience if we hadn't bought Viking, right? And so along with A-class companies comes A-class people that are genuine, that are authentic, that are capable, that are different than everybody else. That's how they became the one and only. And that enables us all to be more successful, right? It's just fun. It's fun.
It reminds me of the way I cook, because I'll go to the market and I'll look at the thing. People say, "Oh my God, how did you create this menu?" I never have a menu. I saw that beautiful eggplant, and the eggplant created my menu. It's like going and picking that perfect product and bringing it home, because you know it's perfect, you know it's resonating a great energy, and you know you're going to come out with an end result. Feels like the same sort of mentality.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
It always comes back to cooking.
Yeah, well,
it always comes back.
Yes.
Let's remember what we're trying to do here, right?
Absolutely.
It is about the food and the customer experience, and whether that customer is your family, your friend over, or somebody coming through your front door at the restaurant, or food service establishment, coming in the front door of a grocery store, it's always the same. It is always the same. It's about the food and that experience you're going to create around that food.
Do you have a favorite ingredient or a favorite brand right now that you're really excited to see it flourish? Like what's happening within Middleby that you're the most proud of?
Okay, so this is cool. This is cool. Ventless is everything. So, when you're building a restaurant, or even when you're building a home, I was just listening to I was overhearing your conversation just a couple minutes ago with that customer around hoods. The ability to vent the waste air, the waste temperature, is a key element of the restaurant industry and the home. In the restaurant, when you're building a restaurant, the first thing you do when you build a restaurant is you walk into the space and you try to figure out where you're going to put the hood. Doesn't care where the customer is going to be, doesn't care how the kitchen's going to flow, you don't care about anything, but can I find the wall to put the hood on? Which is stupid. So I'm going to put all my personal assets, all my money, all my reputation on the hood. The stainless steel thing that has to be on the back wall that vents out over a parking lot. So we have created every piece of equipment. We have invested millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. Every piece of equipment we have is ventless. So we have a ventless option, which allows you to lay out the kitchen the right way. So you can flow.
Gives you freedom. Freedom and
freedom.
Yeah.
And it allows you to get into that historical location on High Street in London.
Yeah, exactly.
Or an historical, or the airport, or a non-traditional location. It allows you to, I can take my commercial kitchen now and put it in your home.
So like you're talking like fryers and everything ventless.
Everything's ventless.
That's crazy.
It's crazy cool.
Yeah.
And guess what? It goes with you. So mobility is a big deal anymore, right? So you go into a strip center and you may catch an end cap, but you might need a location 3 months later because you've been successful, and you may move into a bigger. You take the hood. You take everything with you when you move. So it's an asset play. But most importantly, it's a design layout play, right? And the other thing that's a big deal is it allows for limited time offers or new menus. So you establish a menu in your kitchen or in your food service establishment. About 2 years later, you want to bring in fries, or you want to bring in a pizza concept, or you want to add to the menu. you can slot in a pizza oven that's completely ventless. You can just plop it right in there.
You know what this is great for? Because I've heard a lot of chatter amongst big chefs that are doing these collaborations, food halls, things like that.
Yes.
It gives you the ability to build that foundation where you can put equipment anywhere.
That's right.
And then they can collaborate a lot easier.
Amen. Brilliant point there.
With pop-ups, because you see the concept of pop-ups happening all over. Is that something that's applicable?
It's applicable to that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very applicable to that. The other big trend in the industry is dark kitchens or ghost kitchens. I don't know if you're following that.
I heard that.
It
sounds scary.
It does.
It's scary. All the big chains are piloting ghost kitchens. So a ghost kitchen is kind of a kitchen off by itself that produces the food and then ships it out to the restaurants. So it's kind of a quasi-commissary operation. But ghost kitchens are exactly what you're saying. There may be 6 or 7 different independent restaurants cooking out of the same facility and then bringing the food out to their establishments. So they call them. It's a kind of a trend in the industry right now. It's a very secret thing, but there's probably 200 or 300 ghost kitchens around the world.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't realize that they were called ghost kitchens.
Yeah, they call them dark kitchens, ghost kitchens. So it's very fascinating.
Spooky.
It's spooky,
which is fun.
but delicious.
Yeah, I like fun.
Yes.
The other trend that I see is very fascinating is the beverage side of the food service and even homes. People are looking for their own type of beverage. So we've come up with a whole line through the Taylor organization of infused products into soft serve and slushies that you can make up, a bartender can make up their own concoction. Right? Make up their own mix, whether it's a local beer, a local mixed drink, Coke or Pepsi, and you can literally pour it into this machine and it infuses it into this very unique slushy that has a ton of patents around it. But you can create your own drink. So the bartender can have their own drink every night. The machine is so sophisticated that it doesn't need to be cleaned for 2 weeks.
That's crazy.
And they were making frosés over there that I can't wait to sample.
And it's an amazing product, but it's all about differentiating, allowing that local chef to differentiate their menu and be very unique and authentic.
So a lot of this goes to like the commercial end, and it's great that we have a residential, Middleby residential in our market. In our showroom, there are things like the U-Chill, where you can put a bottle of cold wine in your counter.
Amen.
No more ice buckets.
Amen.
And even the beer tap that we have from Marvel, where you can have beer and wine. Now, I just came from one of the big beverage centers in Chicago, and they're kegging lots of things like different varietals of wine. Companies are doing half kegs, quarter kegs, kombucha, things like that for the home. So ultimately it trickles down to the end user.
So I run this big mega company, right?
Multi-billion-dollar company.
I've done 2 things specifically to make this man happy. Just to make him happy. We've expanded induction cooking capability, and in their Viking systems, you can have induction cooking that is unparalleled. It's the same standard of induction cooking that you'll find in all the restaurants, that kind of technology. And he has exploited it for Viking, and I think Viking is uniquely positioned, right, versus any other competitor around induction, and I'm going to have you talk about this. And the second thing I gave him was Garden Fresh. The ability to take, you can pull out that wine cooler and shove in Garden Fresh. And why don't you talk about Garden Fresh and induction?
I have to tell you that, and I'm so glad you said that, because we did not talk prior to this. Whenever I'm in the showroom and I talk about the spinal cord of Middleby, and I give customers the example, it's always with the induction. I'll say, you know what, come with me. I'll show you how Middleby has fortified this brand, because this is commercial. And we go to the induction cooktop. They are shocked at the way the induction cooktop performs. Boiled water in less than 2 minutes. You have boiling, rolling boil. And I explained to them the difference between having a flame, a ring of fire, versus a plate of fire, and then how the induction cooktop can actually get you out of the kitchen faster. What's mind-blowing is when I introduce them to like a product like Incognito, where you can do sous vide cooking, have 4 different temperatures right through your countertop. That blows people's minds. And I hid the garden chef in the back of the showroom because I knew it would be a moment for people when they come around and they look that you can see, especially in our fantastic cold winters here in Chicago, where you can be growing herbs right in your home year-round without even thinking about it. The machine is doing it for you, so you load it and it grows on its own. It's things like that that give the customer, the end user, the knowledge to know that there are things that they never even dreamed of that are happening in their home kitchen. It makes people it's a game changer. I had the nerve to put huge letters on our showroom wall, "Your life will change." How are you going to do that in an appliance showroom? Things like that.
Yes.
They're life-changing, and it's a game changer.
I challenge all your viewers to look up Incognito. Just to understand as a sample of unique engineering technology around induction cooking that will change your life.
Yeah, well, from just an aesthetic perspective, all those big, ugly chafing dishes with the bent tin foil and the sternos tipping underneath it, you trying to get under there and light and see if that poisonous little jar is still there. This takes all that out of your home, and it gives you the ability. And I talked to people about putting in their boats, in their, up on deck or back in their even, their outdoor areas. We had a customer that didn't even know about it that actually built, Dave, their dining room table. They actually made a custom dining room table that houses 3 units that they can be serving hot food to their family right at the dinner table.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
but that's authentic. That's authentic. And that's, if I apply technology, engineering, food science to that authenticity, that's how we create innovation. And that's how we create a company that is so stinking fun.
And that's the bottom line.
And you should know this. You came off Wall Street.
I did.
Right? You know how to analyze companies better than anybody. It's key to our success. It's having a culture that drives innovation with great people that are having fun. And we empower those people to do things that they can't even imagine. So it's just tremendously fun.
I love that. Thank you so much, Dave Brewer, for being on Kitchen Chat today and sharing with us the innovation in the ghost kitchen.
Yeah, and thank you, Dave, for those
products.
kind words that you say. And I come from a world for cooking for rock stars like and celebrities and traveling the world with them. The last job I had was with the Big M, Madonna. Now I'm with a bigger M, Middleby. So I'm very excited and very grateful to have this job. I love what I do. I love sharing the energy and the knowledge of Middleby with everyone that I meet, and it's because of people like you that have spent their life, and evolving to this point, and just keep building the brands. It's just a great company to work for. I'm very proud to be here. Thank you for your words.
Thank you.
And it's so much fun to co-host Kitchen Chat in the Viking
Thank
showroom.
Thank you.
With the CEO of Middleby Corporation, Tim FitzGerald. Welcome to Kitchen Chat.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, it is so great to have you here. First of all, congratulations on the wonderful things that Middleby is doing, the growth, the strategy, the acquisitions. It's just fantastic. It's an exciting time.
Yes, it very is, very much so.
And it's funny, it's the different flavor of the NRA show this year. Like it's a little bit more open market.
Yeah, so our company's always been focused on leading brands and leading technologies, and we're always pushing them every year, but we tried to do something different this year, so heavily focused on end users, thinking about concepts, solutions, and technology. So you can see with our booth, we've got vignettes around bar and grill, around retail, convenience stores. So
yeah, it felt like it's a lot more fun.
Yeah,
it's a lot more fun. People were having a good time.
Yeah. It's like a big party, and it's connecting our people together better than ever. So that is another byproduct of it. That's been really a great.
And I feel like in the food industry, it's all about really at the end of the day, it's all about good cooking and having fun. A lot of people going back into their kitchens at home, Tim, which is great for the residential side.
Yeah.
But it's a trickle down from the commercial. like we see things in our showroom from the commercial end of it, like all these products coming in, like Turbo Chef and the Incognito with the induction, and all this commercial power coming into residential. He's acquiring some great brands.
For a long time, that's been the strategy, is really identifying the leading brands and technologies. And you can see we continue to add them to the portfolio. And more recently gone into automation and software and IoT solutions. So I think that's also the next wave that's coming on the commercial side that I think ultimately will find its way into the residential side as well. There's a lot that we've done on the residential side, as you just mentioned, whether it's Turbo Chef or French door oven that came from Blodgett, a lot that we have in the range for Viking today, whether it's the burner systems, whether it's the baking systems that we're really proud of to have that technology and robustness in the home, and we'll continue to do that in the years to come.
Oh, and it all benefits you, dear foodie friends, because I think you have a greater appreciation in the restaurant when you're dining, when you understand the great technology that's coming from the actual equipment, which is now coming into the residential.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the performance is truly at a different level than what you've seen in residential in the past, because Viking and La Cornue and Uline and Marvell and all these links, all these wonderful brands are tied to a commercial manufacturer, and our standard that we have for quality and reliability, which the requirements are much higher in the restaurant sector. So really we bring that into the home, but also not only the reliability, but also the level of service. And we've spent a lot of time over the last several years really enhancing the level of service that we can bring. When something goes wrong in the home, we want to be there 24/7, very quick to take care of the problems. We've made tremendous strides in that and really set a new standard in the appliance market.
We have I like to say, the spinal cord of Middleby behind us, fortifying and energizing our residential brands on every level to make them better, borrowing innovation and technology and parts and pieces from Middleby and all of its partners and companies to make these residential brands bigger and better than ever before.
Yeah.
So do you cook at home?
So I wish I was a better cook, but I will say I do more reheating than cooking, but I do cook on occasion. I have a Turbo Chef. So I have induction. I swear by induction.
Yeah.
So induction is unbelievable. Boiling water in 20 seconds. I am doing that, for tea and coffee and everything else. And then, of course, I've got Turbo Chef oven at home, which really just does a remarkable job. I get home very late at night, flip it on. It's reheated. It's heated up in 5 minutes. I'm downstairs, and it reheats product like you just cooked it fresh.
It's really unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not like it's coming out of a microwave. So you can really have a great product.
Absolutely. It's one of the things that I think in our showroom, especially, Margaret, as you see me use it over and over, throwing in a pizza. I mean, it definitely, with parents working and everybody being so busy, it's one of the things that you can rely on, again, to not only reheat food, but to cook food, to have a fresh pizza or even a frozen pizza done in minutes, as opposed to like a half an hour. You save a lot of your legs.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
so I don't cook my wife, she swears by it. We had it for Thanksgiving, and I think we had to go to the neighbor's house, and they would we'd be using two of their ovens and running back and forth. So she cooked everything on the Turbo Chef was coming out. I mean, I think she had 6 casseroles. They're all coming out 5 to 10 minutes at a time. And of course, we had the 7 Series refrigerator in our house, which is unbelievable. It is the top of the line. There's nothing like that in the residential market. So, I mean, it is truly, we've entered that market in a big way in the last year now with the columns coming out. So excited about what we're doing, expanding into the refrigeration market as well.
And I got to tell you, your wife was in here earlier, and she had her eyes on a couple of pieces. And I don't know if you know anybody at Middleby. She's got her eyes on several things. I'm just warning you in advance. Your son was here as well.
So it's really this Evo outdoor grill that's coming in.
She told us about
next.
that.
Yeah, so we're very excited about that. That's a very unique piece.
She told us all about it. She's very excited.
Yeah, the versatility of the cooking is unbelievable. Of course, the Lynx outdoor grill, nothing like the burner system in that, and you can searing at 800 degrees.
Who wouldn't want that?
It is. It's truly unbelievable.
It really
and
is.
Yeah, and the innovation keeps coming. We're really focused heavily now on bringing a lot of the products in from our UK division. So Aga, which is a 300-year-old brand with a lot of tradition in the UK, but they've got these great Euro designs, and really we've really upgraded them to put technology into a unique Euro design, and that's a big push that's coming here in the U.S. right now. So those products are really just coming through in the second half.
She also had her eye on the marble.
Well,
I'm not gonna lie.
that's
She's
true.
looking at these. So,
But back to AGA, and foodie friends, you may not know this, but Mary Berry actually created the first AGA cookbook, and you know Mary Berry, of course, from the wonderful British Bake Off series on PBS, and now that is part of Middleby.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. No, very exciting part of Middleby. Yeah, absolutely. I think you're going to find the AGA brand, especially the Mercury and Elise, are the two kind of product categories that we're bringing in right now that I think really people are going to love the design and the performance of that. Very unique products. So I'm personally very excited about that.
well, we're very excited to have you here, and thank you for coming to Kitchen Chat. We have a great CEO here at Middleby, and we love coming to work every day. I'm very proud to stand next to you here today.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I mean, honestly, we have great products and great brands, but honestly, what differentiates Middleby is the people. I mean, honestly, we have the best people who are very passionate about what they're doing. They wake up every day. They care for the brands. They care for the customers. They care for each other. And honestly, that's the thing that really differentiates Middleby as a company, and it's really the core to our success.
That's amazing.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Tim.
Thank you so much.
Chat.
Very happy to be here on my first Kitchen Chat.
Oh, this was fun. Thank you. And thanks, Chef Jamie, and thank you, dear foodie friends, for joining us here at the National Restaurant Show in the Middleby Corporation booth. Make sure you visit Chef Jamie Larita in the Merchandise Smart, Suite 137 at the Middleby Residential Showroom.
That's right.
And check out thevikinglife.com while you're at it. And I hope you've enjoyed the coverage here. And always remember to take a moment and savor the day.
Thanks for joining Margaret for Kitchen Chat today. Margaret would be so excited for you to drop by and visit with her at kitchenchat.info, where you'll enjoy podcasts, blogs, recipes, tips from chefs, and even great giveaways. She invites you to share your recipes and kitchen stories too. As Margaret always says, savor the day.